Welcome everybody to my channel. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you to my subscribers that has been with me from the start, and welcome newcomers. I hope you like what you see, and if so, be part of this journey with me, with us, growing a big family that we are, by hitting that subscription button and the bell notification to be notified of the new uploads. Up top, there's 3 little buttons. You can click there, slow down the video to the speed you'd like. Also turn your CC for closed caption on. Every stitch I read will be, not read, every stitch I say you can read down here and take notes. In the description box, I do have a link. You can just click there and it shows you how you can do all of these things in 2-minute video that I have created. I also want to thank every single one of you for 2022 that came through to help the women in need of thread, that have sent thread themselves or have donated money for them. Thank you so much. I am so grateful, and so are they. I also want to thank the women that have tagged me along creating my pieces. Thank you so much. And for the ones that are creating, please don't forget to tag. I do have a private crochet group. You are more than welcome to join in, be part of the family with us there, as long as you have a profile. There's too many scammers and too many frauds going on with the crochet groups nowadays. They're getting in there and they're scamming everybody out of their informations through mobiles or computers. They have links that says cut or bit. Don't open those links. These are hackers. They're scammers. Stay away from that. For that reason, my group is private. I also have a Facebook crochet page you can follow. I have Instagram and I have TikTok. All of these links are below in the description box. So thank you so much, everybody. And let's get started with the tutorials. I hope you're going to enjoy the tutorials for 2023. I have just launched 2 videos that I have started already 2023. So stay in good health, stay in good harmony with everyone, and don't be hard on yourself. You can create all things as long as you set your mind to it. Okay? I send you much loves and hugs. Okay, everyone. So today we're going to create a pineapple round table center. So I hope you're going to enjoy this tutorial and let me know what you think. We're going to be using a 4-ply 100% cotton thread similar to Aunt Lydia number 3. I'm going to use a 3.5 hook, small one to tuck in loose ends, and of course a pair of scissors. Please don't forget to give a thumbs up on the video. It's extremely important, and I hope you're going to enjoy to create this. And if you do, let me know how it goes. And if you're going to post it, tag me along. It's extremely important. And welcome newcomers. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do so. It helps the channel to grow. Thank you so much, everyone. Let's get started. I would like to mention that this tutorial, this design, is an inspiration from my dearest friend, creator, designer, Maria Jose. She has a similar table runner, a little bit different style, but very similar. I got the inspiration, the idea from her, and turned it into my own. Thank you so much, Maria Jose. I will leave her link below in the description box. You guys can always go check. She's from Brazil, very famous artist. Of course, her tutorials are in Portuguese, but you could always translate it. So thank you, Maria Jose. This is the most gorgeous table runner of pineapples, up to date, that I've saw. Thank you so much. And thank you to all of you for being part of this beautiful journey with me, okay? So like I said, I've switched up the table runner and made it my own, but the style is similar to the one she has created. I want to mention to you for that specific project, for the specific project of the pineapple table runner, for a smaller 4-chair cedar or countertop or buffet, best to use Aunt Lydia number 10 because it will be big. So in number 3 Aunt Lydia, it will be extremely huge, unless you have a 8 to 12 cedar. My table is a 6-seater, my dining room table, but it's a big oval one, so that will fit perfect. And don't forget, my thread is a little bit thinner than Aunt Lydia, so it becomes a little bit smaller. So I suggest if you're doing for a smaller table or counter or a buffet, use Aunt Lydia number 10 because it will be big, okay? So the first thing you want to do is that magic circle. In case you have a hard time with it still, you can do a 6 chain and close it in as a circle. So I'm going to do 1 chain, come back in, do a single, and 2 chain. Inside of this circle, I'm going to create 17 more double crochets. With my single and 2 chain will equal 18 double crochets. This is row 1. I'll meet you at the end. I've done my 18 double crochets. Now I'm not going to tighten up too much because once we start going, it's going to pull a little bit. So I don't want it to be crumpled up. I'm going to leave it loose until I have a few rows, and if I need to tighten up more, then I will. But your 6 chain should be good enough. If you feel that it's a little bit too tight, then do an 8 chain instead, okay? We need to. Okay, so I've closed in with slip stitch, and I did now pull onto my magic circle so I can close it up properly. I think I should be okay. So I came in on the same space as we closed in with a slip stitch. I did a single, and I'm going to do chain 2. On the same space, I'm going to create another double crochet. Next space, so on this row 2, we're going to do 2 double crochets per space all the way around, and I'll meet you at the end. So 2 double crochets per space, row 2. So I've done my last 2 double crochets. I'm coming in the second chain, and I'm closing up with a slip stitch. I'm going to come back in the same space, create a single, 1, 2 for my double crochet, and 1 for space. I'm going to skip a space, and I'm coming into the next one. Double crochet, chain 1, skip a space into the next one, double crochet, 1 chain, skip a space into the next one, double crochet. We're going to continue this row 3 the same way all the way around. If your stitch is too tight, then do a 2 chain. You should already know the rule of the crochet. If you're a tight crocheter, do 2 or 3 chain depending upon your tension, and if it's too loose, then do 1. Okay, so we're going to continue to do this. We're supposed to have 18 double crochets at the end. Now, if you see it starting to curve like a hat, a little bit is normal to do because then the next rows it fixes. But if it's too curved, then that means you're missing chains, okay? We'll see how mine goes. If I need to do a 2 chain, then I will also. Okay, so I've closed up, and it looks like it's turned a bit like a hat. But this is not a problem because once we go into now row 4, we'll be good. So I've closed in with a slip stitch. I'm coming in where I have my 1 chain with a single, chain 2, and another double crochet, 1 chain space, into the next space, double crochet, and another double crochet. So for each space we're having 2 double crochets with 1 chain space. You're supposed to have 18 groups of 2 double crochet inside of the 1 chain space. Okay, this is row 4. I'll meet you at the end. Okay, you guys, so I finished row 4, going into row 5, 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm going to do the walk. I call it the walk with a slip stitch into the center of my 1 chain with a single and 2 chain. Now this time we're going to do 3 double crochet and 1 chain space into the next space. 3 double crochet and 1 chain space. So this row 5 will be again 18 groups of 3 double crochet and 1 chain space between them. Okay, I'll meet you at the end. So now I'm going to do, I've closed in with a slip stitch. I'm doing the walk into this space of the 1 chain, and we're going to repeat the same thing. So single, 2 chain. I'm going to do 3 double crochet. This time I'm doing a 2 chain space between them. That's the only difference, is the 2 chain. Of course, if your stitch is too tight, you can do a 3 chain. So row 6, groups of 3, 2 chain space between them. I'll meet you at the end. So I finished closing with a slip stitch on my 2nd chain. I'm doing the walk to the center of my 2 chain with a single, chain 2. I'm going to create here a shell, 3 double crochet, 2 chain, and 3 more double crochet, all on the same space, just like that. Next space, I'm creating the same thing, 3 double crochet, creating the shell again, 2 chain, and 3 more double crochet. Okay, 1 chain. I'm coming into the next space and creating 1 double crochet, chain 2 into the same space and creating another double crochet. So I'm going to have a V here. Okay, I'm going to do 1 chain again. I'm coming back in and I'm creating my shells again. So basically we'll have 2 sets of shells, no chain space, and 1 V with 1 chain space in between. 2 sets of shells again, 1 chain space after we finish the 2 shells, because there's no space here, and then create a V again on the next one. So chain 2, create your shell again, go directly into the next space and create your shell again of 3 double crochets, 2 chain, and 3 more double crochets. Okay, 1 chain space, come into the next one, create your V, 1 double crochet, 2 chain, and 1 double crochet, 1 chain again, and go back into the shells and create 2 shells, 2 groups of shells again. This is how it's going to be all the way at the end. You're supposed to have 6 of 2 shells all the way around. So 1, 2, and then 3 and 4, 5, and 6. Okay, you guys, so we finished row 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Going into row 8, I've closed in with slip stitch. I did a walk with the slip stitch to the center of my 2 chain. I did a single, chain 2. I'm going to create the shell. So where we have the shells, it's going to continue to be the shells also. Chain 2. The only difference is we're going to have chain spaces between shells now. So create your 3 double crochets, chain 2, I'm going to try chain 1, see if maybe that will work, because we have to keep increasing on chains as we go on the rows, and I don't want it to be too loose to start off. So I'm going to do chain 1, create your shell again, 2 chain, 3 double crochet, chain 2. Inside where we have the V, we're going to continue to create the V. So 1 double crochet, 2 chain space, 1 double crochet, 2 chain, and create the shell again. We're going to repeat this way all the way around. So the 3 double crochets, chain 2, 3 more double crochets. Kind of hard to see when you have the camera in front of your face. chain 1, and create the shell again. So basically we'll have a chain 1 space between the shells and 2 chain space between shell and the V on both sides. I'll show you in a second. So shell 1 chain, shell 2 chain, V 2 chain, and then continue on. I'll meet you at the end. Okay, you guys, so we finish row 8, going into row 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I've closed in on row 8 with slip stitch. I did the walk with the slip stitch. I did my single, my 2 chain, created my 2 double crochets, 2 chain space, and 3 double crochets. I created my shell. Like I mentioned before, the shell stays the same. I'm going to do now chain 2 in between shells. So we're going to create the shells again. They stay the same on the same space. The only difference is we'll have chain spaces, increase of chain space between them. So we've done the second shell. I'm going to do 1, 2, 3 chain now and create my V. 2 chain space and do your V. 1, 2, 3 chain space and create your shell. Don't you just love when there's knots? The good thing is I'm pretty good on hiding it, so not bad. Just tuck it in between the double crochets. And then 2 chain space between the shells. We're going to repeat this the same way all the way around. So basically everything stays the same until row 10. It's just that we have to keep increasing on the chains in between the shells and in between the V's. I'll meet you at the end. Okay, you guys, so we finished row 9. So I've closed in with a slip stitch, did the walk with a slip stitch into the center, did my single, my 2 chain, created my 2 double crochets, my 2 chain, my 3 double crochets. Now I'm going to do 1, 2, 3 chain this time, coming in and creating the shell. So basically we're just increasing on the chain here between shells. Everything else on the shell stays the same. 2 chain and 3 double crochet, like that. 1, 2, and 3. Let me see if I can keep it at 3 and on my V. So this row 10 will be only 3 chains all the way around. Unless your tension is too tight, then you can do 4 chains instead, or if it's too loose, then do 2 chains. Okay, and of course, you know, if your tension is too tight, then you should be using a bigger hook. So chain 3, 1, 2, 3, and continue to do your shell the same way. Chain 2 and 3 double crochet. So your shell, 3 chain, shell, 3 chain, V, 3 chain, and so on. I'll meet you at the end. Okay, everyone, going into row 11, it's going to change up a bit. We're going to start to prepare the foundation for the pineapples. So I've done my slip stitch all the way through into the center, single, 2 chain. So the shell stays the same. Here I'm going to do 1, 2, 3, 4 chain. We're doing the increase again. I'm coming into the next shell. Stays the same. We're increasing on the chain 1, 2, 3, and 4, I'm going to come in and do a double crochet. Now, where we have the V's, this is where the foundation of the pineapples are going to be. So we'll have 2 big ones and 4 small pineapples. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm doing 6 chain coming back in, because the next row we need to do the double crochets in here to fill it up. And then 1, 2, 3, 4 chain again, and continue to proceed with the shells. So the shell stays the same, it's just the increased chains between all of the shells and the V's. 1, 2, 3, 4 chain into the next shell. So I've created my shell. I'm going to do chain 4, create my V, and 6 chain. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 chain. Come back in, create your V, and then 1, 2, 3, and 4, and proceed again with your shell. So row 11 will be like this all the way around, and then I'll meet you at the end. So shell 4 chain, shell, a shell 4 chain, 6 chain on the V, 4 chain, shell, 4 chain, shell, and so on. Okay, everyone. So going into row 12, so I closed in row 11 with a slip stitch, did the walk with a slip stitch to the center, my single, 2 chain, 2 double crochet, 2 chain, 3 double crochet. I'm going to do chain 4 again, 1, 2, 3, and 4, because we want to increase, but we don't want like a huge space in between the motifs. I'm going to create my shell again, same way as we've been creating. And now we're going to start building the foundation for the pineapples. Like I said, we'll have 4 smaller ones and 2 big ones. Now the 4 smaller ones will have 2 on this side and 2 on this side, and the big ones will be here on the other sides. Okay, chain 4, 1, 2, 3, and 4. Inside of the 6th chain, this will be the small pineapple. I'm going to do 13 double crochets inside of this space. Okay, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 double crochet. So that's my first foundation for the small one. 1, 2, 3, 4. Chain 4, come back, create your shell. Chain 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Create your shell again. So I've created my shell, chain 4, create your 13 double crochets. Like I said, we'll have 2 small ones on one side and 2 small ones on the other side. So do your 13 double crochets. I've done my 13 double crochets, so we're going to have 2 of 13 on this side and then 2 of 13 on this side, and then the big ones will have 20. Okay, so chain 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, create your shell, actually your 2 shells with chain 4 again. So I've created my 2 shells with chain 4. I'm doing chain 4 again, so I have 3, 4. Now inside of this 6 chain, this will be my big pineapple. Okay, so I'm going to do 20 double crochets inside of the space. So we'll have 2 of 13, 1 of 20, 2 of 13, and 1 of 20. Okay, so I've done my 20 double crochets for my big pineapple, chain 4, and proceed again with your shell. So you know that next is the 2 pineapples of 13 double crochet, exactly like we just finished doing, and then the last pineapple is 20 double crochets. I'll show you in a second here. Just trying to finish up my shell so you can have an idea. Okay, so this is going to be like this. So the 2 pineapples are going to be outwards, and then we have the big pineapple coming here and the other big pineapple coming here. So on this one, just before closing, you know it's the 20. If you want to put a little marker on. So this is 20. This one and this one, which is right after now we're doing, is the 13, which is the 2 small ones right across from each other. And the 2 big ones will be right across from each other. So I'll meet you at the end. Okay, so 4 chain all the way through, and then your 20 double crochets now into the next pineapple. Okay, so 2 small ones, big one, 2 small ones, big one. I'll meet you at the end. Okay, everyone, going into row 12. So row 11, I've closed in with slip stitch, did the walk, the regular single 2 chain in my shell. Again, I'm going to do chain 4, 2, 3, and 4. Coming in, doing my shell again. And this row pretty much will be repeating the same thing as we just did on row 11. So chain 4, shells, the same chain 3. Okay, we're going to do chain 3. We're coming in on top of the double crochet and doing 1 double crochet per space. Okay, that's why we need to do a chain 3, because we don't want the chain to be flopping on the pineapples. Okay, so basically it's just doing the 13 double crochets, and where we have the big pineapple with the 20 double crochets, we'll be doing 20 double crochets. So simple. It's going to change up a bit on the next row, I believe. 1, 2 chain. That's what I did. 1, 2. I think it was chain 3. I think, yeah, chain 3. I think I'm over pushing my limits with chain 2, right? Chain 3, and do your shell. So basically, where we have the double crochets, I'm doing a 3. The pineapples, I'm doing a 3 chain. Except for the where we have the shells, I'm doing a 4 chain between them. Okay, so continue on. Here I'm going to do a 4 chain, and then the 13 again, I'm going to do a 3 chain in between them. And same goes for the 20 double crochets here on the big pineapple. But I'll meet you here because now it's just a repeat here, the same thing. Chain 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and create your shell, and then chain 3, do your 13 double crochets over the 13 double crochets from the previous row 11, and then chain 3 again, 1, 2, 3, and into the first double crochet. So it's just a repeat now. When you get to the 20, it's the same thing. You do your chain 4, your shell, 3 chain, and then do your 20 double crochets. Okay, so I'll meet you at the end. Okay, everyone, going into row 14. So as you can see, we have so as you can see, these will be the small ones. This is the big ones, and the 2 small ones from across. And we're going to change up a bit again. So you do your slip stitch, your shell, 2 chain, create your shell again. One, 2, 3, 4. Now here, on this one here, just before the 13, we're going to create 3 groups of 2, 1, 2, chain space, and again 2 double crochet, 2 chain, and 2 more double crochet. Okay, so we'll have 3 groups just before the 13. We finished doing the 20. We created the shell, 4 chain, and now 3 groups of 2 double crochet with 2 chain space between them. 1, 2 chain space. I'm coming back in and I'm creating again my 13 double crochet, 1 per space. The only difference is we're doing 2 chain and 3 groups of 2 double crochet just before the 13 double crochet. Okay, create your 13 double crochet. So I've done my 13. I'm going to do chain 2 again. I'm coming back in and I'm creating my shell the normal way. And on my next shell, I'm creating again those 2 groups of 2 double crochet. So chain 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Again, just before the 13 double crochets, I'm creating the 2 groups of 2, chain 2 space, again 2 double crochet, 2 chain space, and 2 double crochet again. Very easy pattern to create. Chain 2, create your 13 double crochets, so as you see, we've created the 3 right after we did the first shell. Okay, 3 groups of 2 double crochet, the small pineapple, normal shell, the 3 again. So here you know it's going to be normal and then 3 again. Okay, so I finished doing my 13 double crochets, my normal group, chain 4, and now right after I'm doing the 3 groups of 2 double crochet, 2 chain space in the same space, 2 double crochet, 2 chain, and again the same thing. Why are we doing this? Because we need to split up the pineapples. Chain 2, and now create your 20 double crochets for the big pineapple. So all you have to remember now is 1 shell normal, 3 groups, 1 shell normal, 3 groups, 1 shell normal, 3 groups. That's all you have to remember. If you need to put markers, go ahead. Okay, so I'll meet you at the end. Okay, you guys, going to row 15. See if I can get a little bit more lighting here. So row 15, so I've closed in row 14, slip stitch, did my shell, my fourth chain, my goodness, I can't even talk. Now here we're going to change up a bit. We're going to do 3 double crochet. So we're going to create a shell here because this shell is going to belong to one pineapple, of course. And directly into the next space, we're going to create another shell. So this is where we have the 3 groups. 2 chain, and the other shell. I'm going to do 1 chain. I'm going to come in now into my 13 double crochets with my small pineapple. I'm going to do 1 chain space between them. So now I'm doing the 13 double crochets with 1 chain space between them. This is going to be repeatedly like this all the way around. Even with the big pineapples, we'll do the same thing, 1 chain space and double crochet. And where we have the groups, we're going to create shells, okay, and 1 chain here at the pineapples. And the 4th chain here stays the same. I'm going to do my 13 and then I'll come back to you. So I've done my 13. I'm going to do 1 chain. I'm going to create my normal shell. Chain 2. Seems like it's a little bit dark. I think that's better that way, right? Create your normal shell. Your 4 chain. And now where we have the groups, we're going to create 2 shells. So 3 double crochet, 2 chain, and 3 more double crochet. I'm going directly into the next space and create my shell again. Because after this, we have to work the pineapples individually. So that means we will have to cut the thread each time we start a new pineapple. We don't need to cut the thread once we get to the end because we can continue and do 1 pineapple and then cut the thread. Chain 1 and proceed again the same way. 1 chain space, 1 double crochet. These are on the pineapples. And pretty much this is what it looks like. Okay, so I'll meet you at the end. Okay, you guys, so I finished my row. You can cut your thread or you can do the walk all the way to the other shell. So I'm going to do a slip stitch to the other shell, or cut your thread and start from the beginning, I guess. Yeah, I'm going to have to cut my thread. Was not thinking, sorry. Okay, so I'm going to cut my thread and leave it a little bit longer so I can tuck in after. Just going to bring my thread back and forth here because then the next row I will cover it up. Just put it right in the middle of my chain here so my stitches will cover them. So I'm going to grab my thread and I'm going to come in. I'm going to work my big one, okay? So I'm going to come in the closest to the 20 double crochet. So I'm going to do my slip stitch knot. I'm going to come in the one closest to the 20 double crochets. I'm working first my big pineapple. I'm going to do a single and chain 2. Coming in, doing my shells. So shells will always stay shells, like I mentioned from the beginning. Chain 2 and 3 more double crochet. So I'm not even going to bother counting rows anymore because the pineapples have different sizes, right? So there's no point. I mean, you can, but I'm not going to. So I'm going to do 1 chain again. No, actually 2, 3 chain. And I'm going to come inside of the space. 1, 2, 3 chain inside of the space. 1, 2, 3 chain inside of the space. And you're going to continue doing that per space all the way to the end. Okay, so I've done my first pineapple loops of 3 chain. I'm going to continue 3 chain. I'm coming in and doing my shell. Chain 2. Continue your 3 double crochets. 1, 2, 3, 4. Come into the next shell. This is still part of the big pineapple. Do your shell. Chain 2. Create your shell. So now it's going to be very simple. Just going to cut my excess thread here. So we're going to be working now back and forth on this pineapple like that, okay? Remembering that this one here belongs to the other pineapple. So we're going to turn around. I'm going to do the walk into the center of my shell and create my shell single 2 chain. And we're just going to decrease now on the chains of the pineapple. So you create your shell normally. 1, 2, 3, 4. Into the next shell. So it's just back and forth. Chain 3, 1, 2, 3, into the loop. So these chain 3s, if you want, you can do chain 4 if it's too tight for you, but it's always the same count. I'm going to leave it at 3 because it's fine for me and it's the same thing as the loops on the pineapple. So we're just working chain 3s and shells, chain 3s and shells, right? The only chain 4 that I do is right here. So I finished my last shell and I've turned around. So now we're just gonna, and don't worry about it being like this because once we keep working, it will straighten out itself. So it looks all like crumpled up here on the pineapple, but don't worry about it. It's going to straighten out as you go. Just keep up the same chain stitch and you're good to go. So we're going to keep going and working until we have only 1 loop of 3 chains left. So we're doing a decrease. So here, our first chains, we have 18 and then 17, next row 16, 15, 14, until we have 1 left. And then I'll meet you at the end, remembering that when you're starting the next pineapple, you must start facing the proper way. Don't get it mistaken going into the back in order to go back and forth the same way. and it goes for the other one. So I'll meet you at the end when I have one left. Okay. Okay, everyone, as you can see, I did until there was one, so still 3 chains I've turned around. Now, if there is, not if there is, I'm thinking maybe once I'm done this tutorial, I might continue and increase another pineapple at the edge of this one. I'm not sure yet. In case I do, I will mention on the next video and link the new video to this one. And if you want to create that, you can. Okay, so I did my, actually, I'm going to do a 3 chain here instead of 4. 3 chain. Create your shell. And if I do create the next one, I most probably will be doing 3D flowers into it. So you go directly into the next one to close it up over here. Show you in a second. So we did a 3 chain here and we went directly, turn around, create your shell. Again, going directly into the middle one. Create your shell. And then I go directly into the last one. So turn around, create your shell, and go directly. Now, once you've done 2 rows, so 2, 1, 2, yes, 2 rows of the groups here, you can cut your thread and proceed with the next pineapple. So remember, and don't forget, we still have to block it, right? So remember what I told you at the beginning when it was all like crumpled up, that it would have fallen directly into place. So this is what it's looking like. Now you can cut your thread and you can proceed with the small pineapple, or you can do the other side, the big one. But I suggest go with the small in case I am going to continue on from here, maybe. Then you can just add. Obviously, you'll know if I go. If I continue from here, the other video will be out. By the time you do this, you have plenty of time to continue on. So I suggest do your small ones first before you go into the big one. It would be the best option for you. If I'm going to increase on the pineapples to the end. Okay, so you can do the small ones and just continue exactly as we did here. So you would do like so. Of course, this has a chain, so you know you have 2 rows here with no chain. That's what you got to do. Okay, I'm going to continue mine, and then I'll come back to you and show you at the end. Okay, you guys, so as I mentioned before, I was thinking about doing the extension on it, and I did do the extension on it, but I left it, the big one, to do because the extension is only on the big one. I did do the small ones already, 2 small ones. I still have 2 left, but I did want to show you how it's done before I forget and before you guys start panicking. So basically this is the small one. So you obviously have to continue to do the 4 chain on one side only. And of course this side does not, this side has. So one side has the 4 chains and the other one doesn't, right? And then one side has, and then the other one doesn't. And then of course we are into the 20 pineapples. So I just want to show you what I did with mine. And I will show you how it's done. So I increased another pineapple, a small one at the end. Okay, this one has 15 double crochets. So basically, once you hit the 3 rows, okay, as I showed you, then I continued on from there and increased my pineapple here at the end. Now, if you notice, the small pineapple has no 4 chain like the big one here on the side, right? It's just a very simple pineapple here at the edge. Kind of hard to see now because my table is so small, but you will once it's stretched out. But anyway, just wanted to show you on the small ones how it is. So you have actually, so you have the 4 line, the 4 thing for the big pineapple, and here you don't. And then you have on here, and on here the small one. I was saying one yes, one no, I don't know why. And then we are going to do, of course, on this one, so we'll be doing it on the 20th. Okay, and then we're going to proceed again on this one. So I'm just going to show you on this side, the 2 small ones, how it's proceeded. So we have to do the same thing as we did on here. Or actually, we'll create the 20, and then once you get to the final, this is optional. You can just stop it where I taught you, and you can leave it at that. But if you want to do the increase with the other one, then we have 1, 2, 3 rows of the shells, right? So I'll meet you here because obviously the tutorial is already done. So do the pineapple, and then I'll meet you here on the 3rd row so we can continue on. I think it will be the best way. So basically, on this side of the pineapple, we're going to start from here, okay? And then this will belong to the other one. So we'll just continue from here on. This is the big pineapple, the 20 double crochets, okay? Sometimes I just change idea as I'm going. And then just do your normal, and then I'll meet you here. We're doing the 4 chain. So the 4 chain here continues as a 4 chain, right? So you'd come and put it here and then continue your 4 chain, and we're going all the way up. Okay. Okay, everyone. So I finished the 20 double crochets in big pineapple, and I've done my 3 rows here of the shell, which is, try to turn this here so you guys can see. So it's these 3 rows here. Now we're going to do this one. Okay. So just leave it here on the side. So you'd come back and do exactly your shell the same way. Now for sure this is probably on video 2 or will be going into video 2. I don't know. I'll have to check at the end of this recording to see how much space I have, because this is too much details. It won't fit all into one. So I'm going to do chain 12. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. I'm going to come in the center of this one here and do a single, then 12 chain again. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. And I'm going to do my shell again. So pretty much preparing it for the smaller pineapple, which is only 15 double crochets. Turn around. Continue your shell. Once you've done your shell, do chain 3. Come right in the center of the 12 chain. If it's too tight for you, chain 3, you can do a chain 4. And I'm going to do chain 6. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And I'm going to come right in the center of my chain 12 again with a single. So I've created this because this will be the foundation of the next pineapple. 1, 2, 3. And create your shell again. Some of you must be saying, yeah, but she's going too fast. But I'm just creating shells, people. I mean, we should know how to do shells by now. So you turn around, do your walk the regular way with slip stitch, and create your shell where the shells are. So shells are going to stay the same on both edges. One, 2 chain. I'm going to come where we have the 6 chain, and I'm going to be doing my 15 double crochet. So this is the foundation of my next pineapple. So I've done my 15 double crochet. I'm going to do chain 3, come in, and do my shell again. Then you're going to turn around, do your shell, and you're going to do exactly the same thing as we've been doing, you know, with the pineapple. The only difference is we don't have that other shell with the 4 chain on this one. Okay, so as you can see, it's only 3 on each side. We don't have this 4 chain one. We only have this and this, not this. Okay. So very simple. So that's all you have to do is continue exactly the same way. So you will have to do your 15 double crochets again. So do your shell. I've done my shell. I'm going to do only chain 2 because I don't want these chains to be too floppy on here. And then we'll continue with chain 3 on the next one. So do double crochet with double crochet your 15 double crochet. So basically it's not going to change anything now. It's just to complete the pineapple. So basically we are doing this one, then do the thing and your shell, 3 chain, then you do your double crochets again, or if you have to do a 2 chain, go ahead, and then the next one. So we have 1, 2, 3 rows of 15 double crochets, then the next one double crochet, 1 chain, 1 double, same thing as we did the pineapple, and then just continue until you come to the end. Once you come to the end, you just close and you have 3 rows of just shells. Okay, so you have your last one here with the 3 chain, do your shell, come back, no chain space, and you close it off. Okay, so very simple with this small one. I'm going to continue and then I'll come back and show you for the smaller ones how we're going to start it off. Okay, everyone, so I pretty much finished doing the 15 double crochet pineapple, which is the length one. And I did the 3 rows just of shells, so no chain in between them once you finish doing the 3 chains here for the 1 loop. Then it's just automatic into place, and I'll tuck in my loose ends afterwards. Now onto the small ones on the sides. So I'm on my side one. This is the big one that we just finished. So I'm on the side one here, and of course we're going to do the same thing. So we're going to start on this edge here, closest to the double crochets. So you do your shell, your 3 chain, and come in and do your 3 chain loops for this pineapple. So these ones are 13. These are the side ones of the pineapple. So very simple. So I've done my loops. You're supposed to have 12 loops. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Hold on a minute. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Okay, 11. Just going to confirm on my other little one. So yes, 11 loops, chain 3. And just do your shell. And then your 4 chain and your last shell. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then you're just going to continue from there on all the way to the end. Turn around and then continue again. Your shell, your 4 chain, your shell, your loops of 3 chain, and then your shell all the way to the end. I'll meet you at the end. Okay, you guys, so we're pretty much reached the end. I've done my 3 rows. So after we do the 3 chain here, I did only 1 chain on the first row with the shells, no chain at all here and here on the 3rd row. Now, as you can see here how I did the closing, so we did 1, 2, 3 rows. Now, I'm going to turn around. I'm going to do the walk into the shell here, and I'm only going to do 3 double crochets. So single, 2 chain, and 2 more double crochets, exactly like we have here. And then I'm coming in directly into the center and create a shell. And then 3 double crochets here at this edge, just so we can do the closing, and then turn around the other way. So I turn around. I'm going to do 1, 2, 3 chain. I'm coming inside of the center here and create my shell again. And the others, small 13 double crochet pineapples, the same thing. So 1, 2, and 3. Oops, forgot this part here. Okay, so I'm going to do a small little peacock here. Almost forgot. So 3 chain. Then I'm closing it in with a slip stitch and do my shell, complete my shell. So that's the only difference on here. And then 1, 2, and 3, and this is it for the small ones. And I'm going to close it off. And this is how it's done with the small ones. Now, you're just going to come in here again. So basically you will start off here, complete your pineapple, and go all the way to do here with your 4 chain. So this one has the 4 chain also on the side. Same thing as we just done here on this one with the 4 chain on the left, and again the 4 chain on the left on this side also. Okay, so just complete that and then pretty much done with it. I'm going to tuck in my loose ends at the end. Now I went out and I got this thread today. It's a deep red multicolored mix. I know the camera doesn't do its justice, but it's a really pretty color. I will most probably be creating the 3D flowers, and I will be adding to in between the pineapples here. So I most probably will be doing that, but for sure this is most probably in another tutorial because I will need to create the flower itself on a tutorial. Okay, so I have only one more pineapple left to create, and that's about it. And I'm pretty much done with this tutorial after. So I'll show you at the end. Okay, my dear friends, so I pretty much finished doing all my pineapples. Now, as you know in the tutorial, you could have just stopped there, and this would be just one whole pattern. So I added on the small one to the end. Now, don't forget, this is huge for a 6-chair table. Aunt Lydia number 10 would be perfect for a small doily for a 4-seater, or just a normal doily for a counter or a buffet or something like that. So I hope you enjoy this tutorial. I will be doing the flowers to be added on to here, which that's coming up next. So if you want to create flowers and do it, the 3D flowers on there, then make sure that you are subscribed and you have that bell notification on to be notified of the tutorial coming up. So I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you so much to every single one of you. Please don't forget to give a thumbs up on the video, and I will see you in the next tutorial.